WWEL, the People Station, playing classic soul and the real R&B.
Hi, my name is Renee Mahoney, wife of Skip Mahoney and the Casual, and I'm listening to Motown Memories with Sweet Pea.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Well, um, welcome to Motown Memories with Sweet Pea. If you're tuned in, welcome everybody everywhere. I know one of my guests is tuned in, Roderick Meadows, and Marlo E. Waters is always tuned in. Paul Stannard and Cynthia Barnett. Barbara Krosky is tuned in. Oh, Mary M. Anderson is tuned in. I think Wayne Ditchfield. Wayne Ditchfield is tuned in. What's the name? Rashawn, he'll be on later. Pat Ryan is trying to get on Zoom. Roderick will be joining us in a few minutes. But today's conversations with Sweet Pea, you never know what you're gonna hear. And if you fall asleep on it, you're gonna miss it. All right. So the album Spotlight is what I say? Thank you, Barbara. Barbara's tuned in.
Right.
16, what is a collection of 16 big hits. I used to collect those instead of, carrying around 45s. I had the 45s too, but hey, this was better. All right. So you just heard the opening, which was the instrumental of Heat Wave. That was the Funk Brothers. And now it's time for the Praise Break song, which is one of my favorites, of course, Reverend James Cleveland with Let 'Em In Today. That was Reverend James Cleveland with Let 'Em In Today, and I believe that was Charles Fold Singers with him that time. My guests are standing by, Rashawn and Patricia Ryan, and we'll get to them in a minute. I have to answer this question because some people think I don't know what I'm talking about. But okay, to answer your question, Oh Happy Day was not led by Dorothy Norwood. She did not sing with the Edwin Hawkins Singers. That song was led by Dorothy Morrison, not Dorothy Norwood. So I answered your question. Take that and be exceedingly glad, beloved. Thank you. My guests are joining me, and one of them is very eager to talk, so I'm going to introduce to some and present to others. Well, y'all know Rashawn. Where's Rashawn? Where'd he go?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Don't start no mess, Rashawn.
No,
That's my guy right there, Rashawn. And the lovely Pat Ryan is joining us for the very first time. From Inkster High School graduate, Miss Patricia Ryan. Say hi, Pat.
Hello. Hi.
Wait. Oh yeah. All right. Don't you and Rashawn start no mess now. Roderick, if you're tuned in, we're waiting for you. But you catch up. There you go. Hey, Roderick.
Hey.
Hey there.
Hey.
What's shaking?
Uh,
Shaking. All
glad
right.
day is over.
Before we have a conversation, let me say this. Let me congratulate my grandson Anthony is graduating. Praise the Lord. On June 17th.
Yay.
So
Congratulations.
you know what? The reason why I say that, yes, the reason why I say that because my daughter-in-law say, yeah, Anthony's graduating and we don't have to get needs Jesus. Y'all pray for her and Rick too. Y'all pray for them. But anyway, how y'all are?
I'm doing well, thank
How
you.
y'all are?
I'm doing well, Sweet Pea.
Glad my workday is over.
You're looking good, Star. You looking good.
Well, thank you, Sister One Love.
I know that's right. We're gonna do a praise break. Over. Rashawn.
I'm doing
Where's
good.
Rashawn?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
You know what? Ray Shawn and I had issues with Facebook people. And now this fake page that popped up again, now they're posting Diana Ross with no hair. When have you known the
What?
diva to have no hair?
Never.
She's never had.
Never.
She's bald headed.
I saw that mess last night. I was like, oh
Never,
God.
never.
That's ridiculous.
I was livid. I was livid. And this lady, she had reposted from that particular site that's on Facebook, and I tried to correct her, and I think Ray Shawn went, and I was trying to tell her this is wrong, this is false, blah 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 blah. So then she had posted a status, this is my page, I say what I want. Well, you know what, when they come and cuss your ass out, don't look for me to defend you, because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Have at it. Carry on. Carry on. Carry on. And then just now in the radio group, you know, when you're a new member, you have to be pre-approved to post comments. All right. This lady tried to post a photo of Jackie Wilson. Paul, you all right? Let me know if you're okay, because I mean, Paul was boiling. No, he wasn't boiling about that. I was. Jackie Wilson was friends with Berry Gordy. Berry wrote a couple of hits for him, blah, 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 blah. But he never recorded for Motown. Never. Everybody on this panel know that Jackie recorded for Brunswick.
Right.
Not Motown.
Yeah.
Right.
Am I right, choir?
Yeah. Yeah. May I ask
Thank you, choir.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hey, wait a minute. Can I ask a question on that subject?
Go ahead, Mel.
All right. Did Berry ever try
Better
to get...
than anyone I know.
Okay. Did Berry ever try to get Jackie Wilson to sign with Motown? Far as you know?
Barry tried to get a few people. Aretha, Frida. I seriously think he did.
Okay.
I seriously think he did. Thank you, Chris. My brother-in-law's better than your brother-in-law.
Oh.
Y'all say hi to Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
How are you?
He might have, but you know what, Mel, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
Jackie was tied into with Brunswick, and that was ran by what's his name?
That Tarpool, what his name is?
Yeah, it was a lot of shaky stuff going on with that. Right, Ray Shawn? Roderick?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. Mm-hmm. Didn't they have some mob connections?
There was a lot of shaky. That's what I heard.
Yep.
You know, I ain't gonna say on the air, but you know, we could talk on the back end. But you know what? You need to read, if you haven't read it. What's the name of the book? Lonely Teardrops. The Jackie Wilson story. Not the one his daughter wrote, but Lonely Teardrops. Because the book that Brenda Wilson wrote is a thin book. The Lonely Teardrops give you the full shebang.
You know,
Okay.
And so yeah, you need to read that book.
Do you know who the author is?
That's the book you need to read. And then I can get it for you.
Okay.
You know what? Matter of fact, I got my iPad right here. You know what? Keep talking, and I will let you know who wrote that book. Also, the same person that tried to post Jackie Wilson, she turned around, and there's a picture of the Temptations on a CD, but she said it's the Four Tops.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Lord. Oh, you
Let
serious?
us count. Let us count.
I'm serious. And Paul went ballistic. Paul went ballistic. I can't blame him. I can't fault him. But let me tell you all about Pat Ryan. Pat Ryan knows some folks. Y'all thought I knew some folks. Pat Ryan knows some folks. She went to school, and Pat, you could correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm gonna let her tell her story. She went to school with the Marvelettes. She knows them. She knows Kat's sister. What is a sister?
Her name is
Brother?
Sharon.
Or
Her
all of them?
sister. Her sister.
Right.
Her sister's name is
Tell your
Sharon.
story, girl.
Well, I went to school with all of them,
And
but I knew Sharon, and Kat had a brother named Al too that I used to sing with.
that's right. She used to sing, y'all.
Yeah, but
Her videos on YouTube.
yes, it is. And if I can give a little something about that, it was at Fortune Records long before there was a
Ooh.
Motown.
You sure can.
And the name of the
You
song was Oh My Love by
sure can.
Cozy and the Crescendos.
Okay now.
They,
I gotta check that out.
Okay, well, that's the way it was. And like I said, that was Fortune Records long before there was a Motown even thought of. And later on, when there was a Motown, Warren Harris of the Monitors was trying to, well, I shouldn't say try, he was managing our group, Nandris Green, Emily Ringo, and myself at the time, Pat Campbell, at Diamond Jim Riley's uh, recording studio on Linwood in Detroit. But
see?
I digress. But getting back to the Marvelettes, I knew Gladys even before we went to high school. I believe she used to sing with another girl named Trula Urquhart. It was Trula Urquhart. And that's when I was in the eighth grade. Gladys was in the ninth. So by the time I
Wow.
started Inkster High in the ninth grade, Gladys was in the 10th. And we had chorus every morning with Mr. Phillips. And since both of us were altos, we'd sit up there on the risers and try to push each other down in the cracks. But there's some things that I have read
Wow.
about or heard about that have been left out of books, and I'm going, wow. Um, if I may, Sweet Pea, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Go right ahead.
I have an older brother named Sonny.
Be
Well, we
my
call
guest.
him Sonny. His name is Johnny Arthur Stovall, and he came up from Alabama, and he asked me to introduce him to some young ladies. Long story short, I introduced him to Gladys. And by that time, the Marvelettes were just getting together because at that time, Georgia Dobbins, who was a really good friend of mine, um, had dropped out and she was working at the Inkster Cleaners on Michigan Avenue. So I introduced Sonny and Gladys, and they started dating. And right after then, when the Marvelettes formed, Sonny was taking them downtown to rehearse every day in his little brown and white 56 Pontiac convertible. So I don't know how that story was left out, but that did
Well,
happen. That Sonny took them every day. And on the other side of Please Mr. Postman, the song Forever, it kept saying Jay Young. I'm going, who is Jay Young? Because Sonny and Dada Young, who was James Young, ran around together and they even lived together. And when Gladys and the girls went on the road, I remember one night my mother answered the phone. It must have been about 2:30 or 3 in the morning. And it was Gladys calling, could I speak to Johnny Jr.? And he came to the phone and she said, the kids here at the Uptown went crazy. They went crazy. And I said, where's the Uptown? In Philadelphia. I didn't know. I was still a high school girl. But anyway, that's one of the backstories. But like I said, he worked midnights and he took them down to rehearse every single day. And right before Please Mr. Postman was released, um, I'll never forget Wanda and Dada, as you all may call him, James Young, my brother Sonny, and another young man named Charles Stevens. We were all in Mom's basement. And I don't know if anybody remembers about Hawaiian Punch when it was red only and it came in a can. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
okay, yep.
Yes.
So we all, you know how
Mm-hmm.
our mothers or our families all had those punch bowls with the ladles, and then you had the little cups on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were
With the
down,
hooks hanging off
and the
the
little
side.
hooks,
Yep.
the hooks were holding the cups. So we're all downstairs, and on my little red portable record player. So, like I said, all of us are down there, and Wanda was sitting there, very, very cool. And she said, "Well, do you think this is going to be a hit?" Because it hadn't been released. And we're going, "Oh, yeah." So we poured the red Hawaiian punch in the punch bowl. Mama came downstairs, tasted it. She didn't say anything, went back upstairs. Charles Stevens then took the vodka that Sonny had bought because we weren't old enough to go to the liquor store, and he poured it in the punch bowl. And we were all down there drinking punch, and Wanda was sitting there just as cool with her legs crossed, smoking her cigarette. So, I mean, those are some things that people didn't know, you know? And like I said, I knew
Mm-hmm.
Georgia from way back when she was in high school. Georgia Dobbins. She lived around the corner from me. We lived on Julius Boulevard, and Georgia and her family lived on Hanover. And later on, when Georgia got older, she married my daughter's godmother, Liz Robinson was the godmother. And Liz Robinson was Georgia's maid of honor. So Georgia and me stayed close all of those years. I mean, at different Marvelettes conventions, at different things in the church, St. James Episcopal Church there in Westland. So, it's a lot of things. And if you have any questions, maybe I forgot something, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Oh, and William
Um.
Garrett, Bill Garrett. He used to come over to our house. He had a little portable
Okay.
piano, and he was trying to teach all of us songs. And my mother said, you all don't need Bill Garrett. You need Georgia Dobbins because Georgia was really into her music, really into it.
Well,
Georgia,
I have
Georgia
a
was a
well,
musician. Sure.
I oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm through.
Um, let me say hi to Wayne Ditchfield because he's down there. And Wayne, don't spill the coffee either. Mel and Roderick and Rashawn and especially you, Pat, you can answer this. If okay, let's go back. Let's do a time tunnel thing and go back to 1960, 61. Marvelettes came there. No Supremes came there. No Primettes, no Supremes. None of them came there. It was the Marvelettes and then later the Vandellas and then the Velvelettes. Okay, do you think had the Supremes not came to Motown, we just gonna leave them out in the cold. We just gonna
Oh,
leave them.
okay.
If the Supremes had not came to Motown, do you think the Marvelettes would have reached Supreme status? As much as the Supremes did, as would they have become as famous as the Supremes? Could Wanda been like a Diana Ross?
In all honesty,
That's my question.
and I'm just going to say yes because Wanda had all kinds of class. She was smooth, uh, and she didn't have those rough edges. And I think so, in my humble opinion, because I think Wanda would have taken them over the top because she was very chic. And on the other hand, Gladys was, she had that rough edge to her voice, but Wanda was smooth. And I really, in my heart of hearts, think so.
You know,
That's my humble opinion.
and in my opinion, this is that when Smokey Robinson started working with the Marvelettes, especially with Wanda, right? Smokey Robinson put that Smokey Robinson smooth sound into her voice.
Yes.
Right? Because cause back then, right, when she was saying, like, for instance, "Locking Up My Heart," she would try,
Yeah.
she would try to get a little churchy on that song.
Right.
Well, stop and think about the earlier song that Dada, well, I'll call him Dada because that's all I've ever known. Um, Darling Forever, was she singing Forever? Am I wrong?
I think she was.
If you're talking about James Young,
Yes,
he
well, I call him
wrote
Dada.
so long.
I mean,
Right.
so
He
long,
wrote
baby.
So
I'm sorry.
Long Baby
So
for
long,
her.
baby. That's what I'm saying.
That's all
So
right.
long.
That's all right.
Yes.
Same group, different record.
But you know what? She didn't have that churchy sound. She was starting to turn very, very smooth. And Wanda could switch from one thing to the other. Because if you have listened to her earlier sounds, like you said, she was a little churchy, but after a while, so long, baby, that was it. Then she started being very smooth, and especially when she sung My Baby Must Be a Magician. Stop and think about it.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of which,
Yes.
right?
Well,
Wait a minute. Excuse me,
do
Pat.
you think? Wait. Who was that? Roderick?
That was me. This was me, Mel.
Who had a question?
I did.
Oh, go ahead, Mel.
Yeah. Wait. Pat Wine. Let me ask you this. Off the subject of that, between Wanda and who was and Gladys.
Gladys.
All right. Was there ever a jealousy between the two because both of them like that can lead both of them lead songs, but right. But was there ever a jealousy right against one another as far as who's the best lead vocalist in the group? In
That's
your
a damn good question, Mel.
That's a good question, but
That's a
That's
good question.
a
you
damn
know what?
good question.
That is really good, but I never detected any. I never heard Gladys say anything negative or act negative about it. She just said, hey, there's more than one of us, and she let it go. I never heard anything. That's what I'll say. I've never heard her say anything negative towards Wanda or vice versa. And my brother, who was more involved, because sometimes he would go down to Wanda's house, which, by the way, if you know Wanda loved purple, he used to tell me about, everything's done in purple. She had a purple couch. And
right.
all of us shopped at a furniture store called Mr. Kelly's on Livernois in Detroit. They had some way, way out furniture. I mean, okay, but getting back to the other, never heard anything negative.
Yeah.
They were two different types of singers, okay?
Right.
Oh,
And
Oh yeah, I
okay.
like that.
So with Wanda and Gladys, or with the five Marvelettes. Let's go to the five Marvelettes. Was there any kind of was told by well, I can call their names because they're no longer with us. James, Joe
Georgiana,
Messina and Eddie Willis told me, no, not Georgiana. I'm gonna tell you when the Marvelettes first came there to audition at Motown, they did a demo turned down flat because she sounded wrong, and I'm being nice.
was that
This ain't what they said. This is not
okay?
verbatim,
Was that song an Aretha Franklin
but they
song, Baby Here I Am by the
said
Railroad Track?
she sounded wrong.
Who, I don't know who was leading that for the audition. Was it Wanda? I don't know that part.
Oh, wait.
Because I only,
It had Lover in it. Whatever the song was, it was Lover.
mm,
I gotta ask. I'll ask Eddie's daughter because she might know.
okay.
But that's what it was. They said Cat sounded horrible.
Oh,
And
well,
then when she was relegated to the background, she had a little resentment.
are
And
you talking about,
I will be honest. And Pat, you and I have talked on the phone, and you've talked to Barbara, and we told you what happened in 2019. Mel,
right.
I think I told you what happened at the
Yep.
table with
Yep.
Catherine.
Yep.
But you know what? I
Now,
have never ever
child.
heard Cat lead a song.
Hmm.
Never. Never. I have heard
And now you know why.
okay, but the real singer before she couldn't really get in the group was Georgia. And I know Georgia killed Aretha Franklin song with something, Baby Here I Am by the Railroad Track. Georgia
Hmm.
could not sing, she could sing, okay?
Mm.
Uh, I've heard her sing at Third New Hope Baptist, where she used to attend. I mean, Georgia would have been the leader. And when she found, well, I shouldn't say found, when she got with Wanda, then she knew that was the replacement for her because Wanda could sing too. And think George and
Right.
Wanda had a very similar voice, but I never heard anything about Cat singing. As a matter of fact, at all the Inkster High talent shows, I never saw Cat, unless my memory fails me. I never heard her sing.
Right.
Never.
Right. And that brings me to another question
Well,
about Cat, if you don't mind.
this
If you don't mind, Pat.
go.
Right. In
Go
the
ahead. Go ahead.
in the earlier albums, let's say right before 1964 or something like that, did Cat ever sing at least one song on one of the earlier albums? As far
I
as you
have
know?
no idea.
Mm-mm.
I have no idea
No.
because if so, it wasn't recognizable, and I don't recall anybody saying she was leading. I have no idea. Everything I know about her is that she was always in the background.
Okay, let me
And she was not a
put it
strong,
like
she
this.
was not a strong lead, okay?
Yeah. Go ahead, Pat.
Let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. If see, we weren't there. None of us were there. All right. And you know how Motown did. Motown recorded a lot of music, and there's thousands of songs in the vault. We don't know what's in that vault.
Right.
Right.
She might have done a song, but
Mhm.
I will tell you this honestly, the way I was told, and by Louvain Demps as well, when I talked to her on the phone, Juanita can sing.
Yes,
She had a rich
definitely.
alto voice.
Very rich.
Right. What's girl name? Georgiana.
Yeah, Georgiana, well,
She could
Georgiana
sing.
Tillman. Well, I'm sorry, Gordon. Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But ain't none of them said anything. Ray Shawn,
Yes.
remember when Mickey Stevenson was on the show? He said,
Yes. He said. I think he's. I remember
now
he
I
was.
know he said Wanda was very humble. Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah. He said that Wanda. Wanda was humble, and he said that Gladys was too. He also said, I believe that he said Gladys was alone. And he also said that Juanita and Georgia Tillman were very humble, down to earth, and could sing.
See,
Georgiana
but see,
Tillman. Mhm.
nobody said nothing about Cat until Louvain hinted at it. See, that's why I wish Barbara Krosky would come up here, but see, she ain't. But anyway, I'll say it. We had this table at Fishbowl. Pat, you already know. Pray for a child. Barbara, I'm still trying to live holy now. You know. But anyway, we were at Fishbones in 2019. Mel, I told you this story.
Yeah.
Roderick knows. Rashawn, I told you. I might have told you too, Pat. We were at this
Yes, you
table
did.
in at Fishbowl. And Louvain and her son Michael was there. Barbara was sitting next to Louvain. Catherine, daughter, Keisha was there. Do you know when Louvain came in there, Catherine did not speak to her. She looked her in the face and turned away. Louvain started talking. I don't know how it came up, but Louvain said these words here, and I don't have no reason to lie on my girl. She said, there's a lot that I could say, but I won't say because I like living. Now that's what she said. And
Wow.
she said that the Andantes sang on thousands of Motown records, not only providing background for the Four Tops. Della, I've been a Supreme, and I definitely been a Marvelette. And I wish you could have seen Cat's face. If looks could kill, child. And Louvain explained it. She said that when they have a song, like they was like, what was the song? I think it was My Baby Must Be a Magician. No, it was Hunter Gets Captured by the Game. She said that if Gladys and Catherine was singing background and they hit an off note or something's flat, their mic would be turned all the way down and the Andante's mic would be turned all the way up.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Okay.
Wow.
That's what she said. Now, if I'm wrong, may God forgive me. But that's what the woman said. And Catherine looked at her like she wanted to jump over that table. But Louvain, God bless her. God bless her life. And she kept on talking. I'm like, go on, tell the story, girl. Tell it.
Which they spill the
And
tea.
I bet you some of that's gonna be in her book. Her book is coming out in December. One
Mm.
Step Behind or something like that. I think that's the name of the book. Jackie Wilson information is Tony Douglas is the author.
Yeah, right. But Pat, I see.
But Roderick and Rashawn, where's Roderick?
I'm
He
here.
left?
No, you're right here,
Oh.
Pat.
Oh, I should have said. No, don't let me have to call Marley. Let me see what's their number. I got their personal speed. I got them on speed dial. I'ma call them and say Uncle Roddy done left. But you know what? I think Catherine, in all honesty, I think Catherine. I can't describe it, and God knows I'm not speaking ill of her, but there was something about her spirit. Um, I don't think she really cared for Anne Bogan because Anne Bogan could sing.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
now, if you talk about church, Anne Bogan took you to church and took you downstairs to the fellowship hall for a fellowship dinner, a chicken wings and four string beans. That's Catherine. You know what I actually think, y'all?
What?
When
What?
Gladys left and they brought in another girl, which happened to be Anne Bogan, Catherine thought she was going to move up and be co-lead with Wanda, but they flipped the script on her and they made Wanda lead and made Anna lead, and she's still in the background. That's what I think.
Once
Now
again,
y'all say,
Well,
Sweet
you know
Pea,
what?
you wrong.
I'm going to be honest. I never, and I'm going all the way back because I had Mr. Phillips from middle school on at Felrath Junior High. He was my music teacher, and I was the pianist for the chorus. And I'm thinking all the way back, seventh, eighth, come to Inkster High in the ninth, and I never saw Cat in our what we call Glee Club or chorus. Never. Now, of course, there was
Well, was
Gladys.
any of the Marvelettes in the Glee Club?
Gladys.
Was any of the Marvelettes in the Glee Club?
I don't remember Wanda being in it. We didn't even know Wanda could sing until later because
Oh
Wanda was a
Lord,
well
have
kept secret.
mercy.
Wanda was a well kept secret.
Wow.
She did not put herself out there. Okay, seriously.
yeah.
Maybe she was just that humble.
That's what I'm
She could
saying.
have been shy. We don't know.
Wanda was
Right.
Wanda was
But
never a loudmouth.
was
Wanda was
Juanita?
Yeah, Juanita. Let's see. I think I have a photo somewhere. Was she in the chorus? Maybe I'd have to check that photo to be sure because I have a picture of the chorus through the years, and I had some people circled. So I don't want to say the wrong thing. I have to go back and look because I think she was, but I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at all those yearbooks. But
So
I
who was Mrs. Shipley? I heard that name too.
Oh,
I've seen a picture of
Sharpley.
her too.
That's Miss Sharpley.
Sharpley.
Shirley Sharpley.
Guidance counselor.
No, she wasn't a counselor.
Okay.
I'm
She
trying to think.
wasn't?
No, Miss Sharpley wasn't the counselor at the time. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because they had a name for her, bless her heart. May she rest in peace. And she just passed a few years ago. If you remember the Beverly
Sure
Hillbillies,
did.
they used to call her Jethrine. So
No,
seriously,
no,
no, seriously,
no,
Oh Lord.
the
Oh,
kid,
no.
you know,
I'm
I
finished.
kids can be very cruel. So
Oh no.
no, but I saw Miss Sharpley maybe when was that last AKA fashion show in Dearborn? And she was at that last one. So that had to be 4 or 5 years ago. And she passed shortly after then. But Miss Sharpley was really sweet, but that was just the name they gave her in school
Oh
because it looked
no,
like
not
she had
that.
changed.
No, not that.
Yes, they
And
did because it looked like she had changed from Jethro to Jethrine. Seriously.
no.
I'm
Oh,
serious.
No. Somebody else passed just this week, Winnie Brown, the hairdresser to the girl groups at Motown, and Kim Weston, Brenda Holloway, and Mary Wells, all of them. She used to do the hair for the ladies, and she just passed at the lovely age of 92.
I saw
God
that.
bless her. Yeah. Yeah. And I was under the impression that she was related to Florence Ballard, but she's more related to the Doziers, Lamont Dozier and all of them, because that was Lamont's daughter who made the announcement.
Yes,
And
I saw
somebody was
that.
just asking me about her because they wanted to know, oh, could you ask Miss Brown what kind of perfume Paul Williams? Child, please don't bother me with that mess.
Well, how would you know? Is
Yeah,
that because her and
exactly.
Paul
I,
had? Was
I'm
that
I'm
because her
supposed
and
to
Paul
I'm
had a shop together?
I'm supposed to ask Paul. I mean, not Paul, Winnie. I'm supposed to ask Winnie what kind of perfume Paul, cologne Paul wore. But Winnie's 92. Would
He
she remember
probably
that?
didn't know. I don't think so.
Child, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Is
Yeah,
she
they
the
used
one
to
that
have
had
a
a dress
they
shop?
used to have a clothing shop. It didn't
That's
last
what I
long.
thought. Hmm.
It didn't last long. I think they dated too.
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah, I think they dated.
think you
Yes.
store
But
or
I think you know what? I really think that the Marvelettes could have, even if the Supremes did come along, I think they could have been up there. I think they could have been up there, not like a competition or nothing like that, just to be out there. Because Wanda could sing. Wanda could sing. Gladys could sing. Ann could sing. And then there's Catherine. But hey, she's better in the background. All she could do is she had a nice speaking voice. I will say that.
Yes.
But
Well, I
yeah,
can.
she had a nice speaking voice.
Well, I can tell you this: her brother Al could sing. That I know. Albert Anderson. He could sing.
Okay.
Al could sing. When he was with our little group, it was Cheryl. That's when we were teenagers. Cheryl Moore, um, Lynn Mayfield, and myself. And instead of him singing "Don't Mess with Bill," we would be over at the house rehearsing, and he would sing "Don't Mess with Al." That was his.
Wow.
And that was when they had moved out of the projects, and they had a very, very nice brick home across what we called it across the road. That's Inkster Road, and many of those homes were custom built. And I can remember being at Kat's house. Well, I don't know if she still lived there or not, but they had a very, very nice brick ranch, and the fireplace was on a two-way fireplace. One part was in the living room, and it seemed like the other part was halfway in the kitchen or something. And I
Oh,
remember
Cat's house?
yes, after they moved out of
Hmm.
the project. Yeah. So I don't know if that was her parents' house or what. But I do remember Al still lived there.
That that's the house on Hopkins?
Yes, it may be on Hopkins. I don't know if it's
Oh, okay.
Hopkins or Lehigh, but I do know it was across Inkster Road, and they had moved out of the projects during that
Yeah,
time.
because I have her address on Hopkins.
I don't, I know one person I can ask for sure. Are you talking about the address on Hopkins where she passed? Or,
Yeah,
okay, no,
yeah.
this was earlier. No,
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
will talk to you off the phone about the address on Hopkins and tell you what
Okay.
that was. Okay.
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 That's
Okay.
not the same one. No.
I would
Hey,
like to ask something about the Marvelettes, about the success, and then they would have if that would have been they would have been successful. Also, Gladys Horton has some serious pancakes. She was a great writer, and the fact is that she was Trinidadian. Like when you hear Playboy, she
See?
actually introduced like the reggae chanting where she would go, she would bring the Caribbean accent. That would have
True.
really helped her because with Wanda being the lead singer, Gladys Horton being a songwriter, and also was always about being innovative. So that would have really helped, especially since a lot of people in the UK are from Caribbean descent. That would have really helped them become international household names.
Right.
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 Well, and you know what? Um, I think they would have soared even higher with Georgia Dobbins being in the group. Georgia was a songwriter. She knew how to direct. She knew how to write. and she had an ear for music. If you were off a, a quarter of an eighth of a note, Georgia could tell you, okay? And that's why Mom would always say, "You all need Georgia for your manager. Let Georgia." And here, Georgia was a girl that had just graduated from high school. She was in the band, and Georgia played the trombone, but she had an ear. She had an ear.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. And she could really, really sing. I mean, she was on top of it. I have to give her accolades. I have to. And her and Wanda were more of the same, in the same genre, but she had a little bit more of an edge to her, just a little bit. It wouldn't have been anything that you would have noticed with more training, but that's why she chose Wanda to replace her when Mr. Dobbins said no. But however, she still went out and sang down at as we call the E Coast. We said, "Where are you from?" "We from the coast." The East Coast. That was Southwest Detroit.
Wow.
Right.
She'd be Johnny Mae Matthews' club.
Yeah.
Let's see, it was the Visger Inn. And what was the other one? One was the Visger Inn. And the other one, I can't think of the name, but one was the Visger Inn. And that was right on the corner of Electric Street. And that's where the Temptations, what's his name? Eldridge Bryant.
Hmm.
He got into a fight with Paul, and my uncle was the bouncer.
Oh,
And he
Lord.
hit Paul over the head with a beer bottle.
Oh, Lord.
That was it. No, I'm sorry. Johnny Mae Matthews is the Visger Inn. The other one was Chappie's. That was the name of it. Chappie's Lounge. That was it. Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And my uncle weighed close to 300 pounds and stood
Good
about
God.
6'4" or 5. So he was always slapping somebody.
Yeah.
Well, I know a couple of years ago when I had to let Juanita know about this Grammy, and I talked to her on the phone, and I asked her about Georgia Dobbins. I said, well, would she had ever came back to the Marvelettes? She said she was trying to come back, but Cat didn't want her.
I heard that.
Cat did not want her. And I said, why? She said, because Catherine felt that one, what's her name, girl?
George.
Georgia. She said that Georgia and her had similar voices. And now
Well,
Pat is telling me, see, Pat is
Uh-uh.
telling me, Pat is telling me, you know what, radio audience, I wish you could see Pat Ryan's face.
Uh, no. Wanda and Georgia were more similar. Okay? Oh, I'm not. Okay, no.
You ain't going
And I
there with
asked
that.
Catherine, and Catherine told me the same thing too.
Wow.
Yeah.
No. That's all I have to say
Okay.
about that. I'll leave it alone.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
always wondered that when after Gladys had left and they were saying that they were trying to find a replacement for her. I was like, well, wonder if um Georgia the original Georgia could come back, but I think who was it? Was it Mark Taylor's that wrote that book? I think he might have brought that up in his book. I had it, but I lost it. So yeah, I was just wondering if
Be
maybe
ye
that was
ever
a
grateful,
possibility.
beloved. Be ye grateful. Be ye grateful. Because he wrote that book, and Catherine even told me, she said none of them got compensated.
Oh wow.
None of
Wow.
them.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that's cold blooded.
Yeah.
That's cold
Wow.
blooded. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
Wow.
Roderick, you got a request to talk more.
Okay.
They want you to talk more. And this came from a young lady. My church.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right, let the
Whoa.
church say
Yeah.
amen.
Oh
Well,
Lord.
well, I'm saying,
Amen.
well,
Amen. Usher.
yeah. But let me ask the guys this question, Roderick and Shawn. Now, if a Motortown review have a all female review, not the
Lord
Temps, not the
Jesus.
Tops, not the Miracles, or Contours, and nothing like that. Let's say Vandellas, the No Hit
Marvelettes.
Supremes, yeah, the Marvelettes, Velvelettes, Vandellas, the No Hit Supremes, and Kim Weston. In y'all two opinion, who will be the one female act will open the show and who will close the show?
That's a damn good question, Mel.
I said the no hit supreme. I hate to say it, but they would open the show because they wasn't making noise. But um, Kim
Well,
Weston, I think Kim would close it. It would be a mix. It would be, I don't know, between the Marvelettes and Kim would close, but I don't see the Supremes. I see them kind of warming up.
Right. What about you, LaShawn?
I agree. Supremes would definitely open, then the Vandellas, then Kim Weston, and then the Marvelettes. They would be like the headliners.
Right. Right. Miss Ryan?
um, well, the Supremes would open up with what? Buttered popcorn?
Probably will.
Probably.
What this would be. What this, I say. Let's say between 1962 and 64. Before, all right, right before.
Well, they were singing, let's see, Buttered Popcorn, and then the next one was what? I Want a Guy. So the Supremes would open up. Um, the Supremes would open up, and then maybe the Vevelettes, Martha and the Vandellas, um, and then you forgot somebody, Brenda Holloway, and
Yes.
then Kim Weston and the Marvel. I think Kim Weston would close it out. I really do.
Okay.
Mhm.
And this is gonna be interesting to hear what Sweet Pea got to say about that.
Oh, all right. Well, I say the Supremes. I'm with the majority, but you leaving out. Okay, let me put my show together. The Supremes will come out with "Let Me Go the Right Way." That's a stomper.
Okay.
Um, and then I wouldn't follow it with a group. I would stagger it. Like, okay, you had the Supremes first, then maybe Brenda Holloway could come behind them, or even Tammy Terrell.
Okay.
Tammy Terrell was recording back then. So I would say Supremes, Tammy Terrell, Velvelettes, Mary Wells.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Mary Wells in my question.
Who'd I leave out? Mary Wells, Martha and the Vandellas, Kim. No. Marvelettes, Kim, and then a finale of everybody. That's how I would do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The grand finale, everybody.
Well, well, for me, definitely the No Hit Supremes will open up the show. Let me go the right way, butter popcorn, want a guy, and pause, go on, next act. Brenda Holloway will be a follow up to the Supremes, and Velvelettes, and and then after that, Mama Kim, then Martha and the Vandellas, the Marvelettes, and I would think that Murray would close because she had some great hits between them years. With Bye Bye Baby, The One Who Really Loves You, Beat Me to the Punch, Two Lovers. So I think Mary Wells will be a great closer to that show.
You know what? Let me say something about Bye Bye Baby. I really don't care for that song, and I'll tell you why. And Pat is she was into music. Roderick was in the choir and stuff. It's a pitch thing with me.
Yeah.
And I
Scream.
know Mary was young and a teenager and stuff like that. But baby, if you listen to that song, she was going off.
She was very
off
raw.
pitch.
Yeah,
She was going off. She sounded like her throat was raw.
I think
I
that was
don't.
the song where they said that Barry had her record that thing, wouldn't it? She was like on maybe over 20 cuts, and then the last
Yeah,
time she
I
was
think
just like,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, because originally that song was supposed to be for Jackie Wilson. I can't see or hear Jackie Wilson singing that.
Me
Mm.
either.
That song fits her. She wrote it, but by the time they took all those takes, she was raw. and she was going off pitch, and it bugs me.
Yeah.
It bugs me.
Do you think, right, that once Murray started working with Smokey, right, that that Smokey really trained her voice to be smooth, just like Smokey done with Wanda Rogers?
Who, Mary Wells?
Yeah.
Um, hmm, that's a damn good question.
Yeah.
Um,
I say like
I
this.
think with Mary, I think it was a lot of soul with her. She wasn't singing like Smokey Robinson ballads or anything like that. If I had to pick a songwriter or a group of songwriters to work with Mary Wells, oh, I'd probably pick Stevenson and Hunter. I wouldn't even go Holland Dozier Holland, although she did sing a couple of songs
Yeah.
by Holland Dozier, but I would put her with Stevenson and Hunter.
Although that Smokey Robinson at that time became her primary songwriter and producer.
Um, you know what? If if that was the case, and it was, I don't think Smokey should have just written for her by himself. I think he should have added Ronnie White and Bobby Rogers and Pete Moore, just like they did Ain't That Peculiar for Marvin Gaye or something like that. It should have been a group effort.
especially with Mark Tarplin.
Exactly. Could you imagine her singing and Marv Tarplin playing? That would have paired beautifully.
Mm.
Yeah. And you know what? Speaking of Smokey Robinson, I could actually dig it if Wanda Rogers did a version of "You Really Got a Hold on Me." Because the Miracles version, I just don't like it. I don't like that song. I don't. I play it, but I really don't care for it. I didn't like it when the Supremes did it, but I think Wanda could have done it justice. I really do. I do.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
But that's just me.
Right.
That's just me talking out the side of my
Matter
mouth.
of fact, right. Let me like I pulled something up like that. I had to just to correct you. You beat me to the punch. Smokey wrote that with Ronnie White. Oh Stand By. Smokey co-wrote it with Jamie Bradford.
And those are great songs.
Right. Let's see what else.
He ain't do it by himself.
No.
No, but those are good songs.
Right.
Even Janie could have worked with her.
Right. Yeah, definitely. But yeah.
Oh, you know who else we left out? Carolyn Crawford. She's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She's another good soloist, Carolyn Crawford.
Yeah, and Kellen's still with us today.
Mm-hmm. And while we at it, Patrice Holloway was good soloist too. She put me in the mind of her sister, but she had her own style. She had her own style.
Wow.
And she's good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I seriously think that had there not been any Supremes, or you know what? If the Supremes switched popularity with the Marvelettes, let's put it like that. Let's still have the Supremes, but they switched popularity with the Marvelettes. I really think it could have been something. Wanda could have been in a movie. Gladys could have been in a movie. Catherine might have done something. You never know.
Thank you.
But cards were stacked.
Yeah.
And it seems like once I'm gonna put it like this. Once Berry Gordy got involved with the Supremes,
Mm-hmm.
y'all know where I'm going, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That-
Say amen, church.
That was
Amen.
Amen, Ashe.
that was
Yeah.
a rap, right? And that was a rap, right? With Barry working with the other,
Yes.
with all the female group.
When he got involved and became their manager before Joe Schaffner or whoever, Once he got involved with those girls' business, it got shot to hell.
Yep.
It was shot to hell because in the beginning, now you know, Florence started the group. She founded the group. Then she
Yes.
Hmm.
got married, and then Paul Williams and Mary Wilson got Diana Ross. Now Smokey was already at Motown. Why did if he knew Diana could sing, why didn't he bring her to Motown?
Thank you.
See? See?
Right.
Now, once Barry got involved and that's what he did. He gaslit this girl. He gaslit her because remember at that time Diana was young, she was impressionable, and he was an older man, probably in his 30s or something like that. And he gaslit her. He gaslit her, fed her a pipe dream. Oh, you could be better than them. You can this and you can that. And so and so and so. You could be a big star. I'm gonna put you in the movies one day. But what about Mary and Florence?
Thank
Right.
you.
Right.
You pushed them in the background.
And why do you wait until 1970, right, to finally decided, right, that it's time for Diana to go on her own?
Well, wasn't she supposed to go solo? Then they said she was supposed to go solo in '67, but he pushed it back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it
Yes.
was from
And,
That
and
I
67.
then
know.
and then too, excuse me, you know what's raggedy? Florence named the group. She
Hmm.
founded the group. And she's not supposed to feel some kind of way. I be damn, I feel some kind of way
Thank
too.
you.
You put your doggone name in front of my group that I founded, and I'm not supposed to have some kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he talk about her like a dog. Oh, she's fat. Florence had a beautiful shape.
No, she was
Flor-
not that.
Florence
No.
was not.
See?
No.
And that's what Eddie Willis said. He said the ladies of the Supreme. He said, and I'm not talking about that lead singer, that skinny one. He said Florence and Mary, perfect ladies, all at all
Right.
times.
Hmm.
Now that's what
Florence
the
was
man said.
built. Florence was built.
She
And
was
for,
built.
And she wasn't fat built. She was really, really built. Because I'll
And
tell you
and
this,
and and, and
yeah.
speaking of Florence, I want to straighten something out because it's circulating on Facebook, and I
honest
had
with you,
posted it in Motown Memories. Florence did not die broke.
no.
I
No.
wish people would
Mm-mm.
stop saying
She got the
that
settlement.
bullshit.
Yes,
Yeah.
she had two sentiments.
Right. She bought a new house.
Oh yeah, they all bought homes on what was then called, as we called it,
Buena
people called
Vista.
Buena Vista. We called it Buena Vista. Soul folks, Buena Vista. It was right down the next street over from the Esquire Deli. Yeah, and we all used to go by there and look at the house. Oh, they got a beautiful home on Buena Vista.
Wow.
That's
But
where.
again, she didn't die broke. She bought a new house for her and her girls. She wasn't thinking about Tommy.
Right?
And speaking of Tommy, hey, I'm bringing it out there, just like her sister told me. Why do you wait so long to call 911 to call an ambulance? Why you want to take her in your car? I think that's
Mm,
what Maxine said. It's some crazy stuff surrounding that. That girl, there's no way and no rhyme or reason. Who sings that? Somebody sings that. There's no rhyme or reason why this girl had to die at 32 years old of a heart attack. Are you
Thank
kidding me?
you.
wow.
You got to be joking.
That's what was put out there,
That's what was put out there.
a lot of people never bought that. So,
Mm-mm.
Well, you
Mm-mm.
know, old crazy was saying that she ate what killed her. You remember that? What was her name?
Ooh.
Chevelle.
Oh Lord
The
Jesus.
crazy
The,
word.
the demon seed.
Oh,
Chevert.
The variety Chernobyl, or
Variety
whatever her
Chenevette.
daggone name is.
She
That
said he
fool.
had. There was some brown stuff in her cereal that probably that
No, it
Barry
was
or
not.
Diana
See,
poisoned
see,
her or something with.
she told it wrong because
Yep.
Maxine told me, she told other people, and it's in her book. There was a brown substance in Florence's stomach, and they never tested it to see what it was.
well,
Now
I,
that's what she said.
yes. Now I saw like there was a show called on like this is showing reels. They do a celebrity autopsy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
And it
I
turned
saw
yes.
that.
it was cereal. It was cereal. Florence had some like brand cereal.
See, she probably had grape nuts. That shit's
Yes.
nasty as hell. But let me tell y'all about Variety Chernavette or what Chevrolet or whatever her damn name is. That chick is tick tick boom. I'm telling you, she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. For
Mm.
real. She is a sandwich short of a picnic, a rib short of a barbecue. However you want to put it. She Florence Ballard. Let me line it up for you. Florence Ballard daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She worked for Bill Clinton. She was Bill Clinton's vice president. She
What?
ran for the prime minister of India. She buried Berry Gordy's first wife.
Huh?
Then she buried Gordy's daughter. Then she
Lord,
Diana Ross's twin sister.
she really.
Lord have
Where
mercy.
did she, may I ask, where did she come from? I've never heard of her.
She
We
came
just
from
saw on YouTube.
Alienville, South Carolina. I don't know where that heifer came from. I don't know where she came from, but she put up pictures of her and Florence, and of course the bozos. Oh, you look just like your mother, girl. Please, that is not Florence's uh, uh, daughter. Then she talked about, oh, my name is Nicole Ballard. We already have a Nicole Ballard, and you ain't it, sister woman. That's not you.
Wow.
Florence had one of the twins is Nicole. It's Michelle, Nicole, and Lisa. You ain't none of them. Even Lisa
Mm.
had to cuss her ass out. Oh, Lisa cussed her out. Rashawn, remember that?
Yes.
Remember Lisa cussed her out for points? I hollered. I
It
hollered. I was
went
so good.
viral. It went viral.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Lisa cussed her out for points, honey. Yes. And I'm going to say this to you, Diana Ross fans. We love y'all here on Motown Memories. We really do. But not to the point where you have to disrespect Mary Wilson and Florence Ballard. Y'all stop doing that
Thank
because the more you do that, you're not making your icon look any better.
you.
Because I got
True.
stories on her too, but see, I ain't,
Mhm.
I'm not messy like that. But I could get messy. But anyway,
Well,
that's not right.
no, it's not.
Mary, you can't. When did that book come out, Rayshawn? When did Dream Girls come out? The
September
book.
1986.
And here it is, years later. And y'all still mad at Mary for putting Diana in the book. Let me tell
Why?
y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. If I write a book, and I'm gonna use my panel as examples. If I write a book and I put Rashawn in there, I put Pat in there, Roderick, I put Mel in there, and they get mad at me, it's not their story. This is my story, but they happen to come across my life. They happen to be in my life. So this is how Mary wrote. Mary was telling her story,
Right.
her story,
That's
and
right.
Diana happened to be a part of her life.
That's
You
right.
cannot get mad at a woman for telling her story.
Right.
You cannot. Just like in Supreme Faith, when she's talking about Pedro, and never mind. But
Never
anyway,
mind. Mm-mm.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
thank you, sister. Thank you, because you know I was going to take it there. But anyway,
Nope. Nope.
you, she wrote about him. Now, if y'all want to know about Pedro, then y'all go to Supreme Faith. Please go buy that book.
That's another thing.
Yes.
Yes,
Was
sir.
Let me ask you, Sweet Pea, was that the book that Mary wrote, My Life as a Dream Girl? Wasn't that it?
The Dream Girl, that's the first one.
Well, that's the one that I have. Okay. All right.
Okay, but Supreme Faith, that's
It's
a
the
good
second one.
book. It's
Yes.
very deep. Okay, I'm gonna put it like this. Mary, please forgive me. I know you're sitting on a cloud watching this show, but Supreme Faith and Rashawn and Roderick, I know y'all read the book, so y'all could
Yes.
correct me. Mel, I don't know if you read it, but Supreme Faith goes more in depth of her life after the Supremes, I think Linda Lawrence and Jean Terrell, the after Supremes,
Yes.
Okay.
the 70s Supremes. She talks about her marriage to Pedro and how abusive he was
Oh,
and how he did something to break up the Supremes, or Mary left, or something went on. I got to read the book again. But he was the catalyst. He was their manager
yes.
and he jacked it up. That's
Yes.
how that go.
Right.
Am I right,
What's
Rashawn?
That's true. That's true. Another thing I like to add too. It's like this. Some of Diane says they bash Mary for the book, but they didn't say anything about when Smokey bashed Diana in his book. They didn't say shit. They didn't get on him for doing that.
Let me tell you about Smokey Robinson. And I know all of y'all remember this when this guy came out with Orgasms, that
Yes.
CD.
Mm-hmm.
What did he do? He came out there and he told, well, Diana and I had an affair, and we did this and we did that. Smokey, that's old news. We know that.
mm-hmm.
We know this. But see, the one thing I gotta say, I gotta tip my hat to Diana. She did not come back at him. She could have. She could have. Well, she couldn't sue him for slander because it's the truth. They did
True.
have an affair. But don't come out here years later and say, "Oh, I slept with Diana Ross because you want to sell an orgasm CD," which I heard tanked.
I was going
Mm-hmm.
to say,
Y'all had that affair in the '60s. And I'm gonna say it just like it is, like the old folks say, you young, dumb, and full of cum. That's what they say.
right.
That's what it was back then. Excuse my language, but that's what it is.
Was what it was.
That's what it was. Should have never said. Should have never said that to sell a CD. And her CD, Thank You. I think that's the name of it. Y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. It was out at the same time. I think it came out a little bit before Smokey or a little bit after. That
Came up
woman
with
did not say not one word about Smokey. Not
right.
one. Not one. And you say what you want to say about Diana. She did her sisters wrong. And I'm gonna say this. I was mad at her because of what happened to Mary and with Florence, but I can't fault her because I know what a catalyst is. I know where the common denominator is. Had Barry not ingratiated himself in that group, they
Hmm.
would have been all right.
Right.
We
Yep.
still would have had Supremes. Florence would have still been around. Mary would have still been around. They would have been 80-year-old women talking about where did our love go?
Yes.
Child, please. Don't get me
Well,
started.
I remember them being on a show here. What was the name of it? Because we went to Canada, Swinging Time with Robin Seymour.
Seymour.
Robin
I heard of
Seymour.
that.
Yes, it was a dance show, something like American Bandstand, but in Detroit, we just ran across the bridge or through the tunnel. And I remember them doing the interview, and I'm sure it was on Robin Seymour's show. And she said, I'll never leave the Supremes. And then we were wondering later on what happened. I mean, we knew what happened, but we remember her saying that. And I'm going, oh, well, so we knew who the catalyst was at the time. But at one time, she said, I'll never leave them. She said that. And I'm sure that somewhere it can be found. I'm sure
Um,
those
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
No, I'm just saying, I'm sure somewhere those words can be found, that statement that came from her. And that was years ago when they were, on the Billboard Hot and what's the place in Florida, the Fountain Blue and all those places.
Um, Frances Woods Ball. Frances, I always get your name messed up. I'm so sorry, sis. Um, she asked a good question. She said, Patricia, can you ask why the Supremes had their houses mortgaged instead of Motown paying for them out of their royalties? That's a damn good
It
question right
really
there.
is. Don't know.
I'm gonna tell you something. Um, the houses, I think, um, Motown, I think they bought the houses up front, and the Supremes had to pay them out of their royalties. I think that's how that went.
Wow.
Because at that time, remember when they first started getting hot, they didn't have money like that.
No,
Because
everybody
remember,
lived in Brewster Projects.
exactly. So they didn't have bank like that. Um, uh, you had to pay for studio time because Blinky sure told it. You got to pay for studio time. Um, you have to pay for your stage uniforms.
Right.
And when you finish, if you leave the group, I think those stage uniforms go back to Motown, which is
Hmm.
crazy work.
Wait a
That's
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
crazy.
Stop right there. Stop right there. So how
Wait,
much?
wait a minute, son.
Wait a minute. I said had to ask this.
Hey,
Wait a minute. Had to ask this quick question
you
about
telling me
this.
to hold it?
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So how in the hell Motown is gonna tell them that they had to pay for their own stage uniform, but they leave the group that they had to turn the
They
uniform
have to
back over?
turn those uniforms back over.
You know what?
But
Yep.
then again, but
without
then
no
again,
refund.
I don't know how true that is because Mary Wilson sure have gowns. Their Supremes gowns, unless once they started making the money, they pay for their own stuff. Um, but in the beginning, Mel, it might have been like that. It might have been like that because Motown probably was fronting the money, so to speak. Because remember, they were young kids when they started. Young
Stop.
kids
Yeah.
didn't have the young kids didn't have it like that, and neither did their parents.
No, they didn't have the lawyers to look over things. They did not have any of
Right.
that. And
See,
Barry
only
had,
one I know they had a lawyer like that was Frida Payne, because her mama wasn't playing.
well, the rest of them, they did not have, their parents didn't know, they were new to that, and they didn't have the type of lawyers that Barry had hired. He had a cadre. And so they didn't know. And a lot of the stuff may have been given away earlier. I can tell you this, when Cheryl, Lynn, and myself went down to audition at Motown, uh, Diana Ross was sitting in front. She said, "Oh, you kids sound damn good."
Oh
So
shit.
I'm just telling you what happened. But anyway, we had these contracts, and my mother took my contract to Mr. Sidney DeYoung, who was a Jewish attorney there in Dearborn, Michigan. Cheryl's mother, no, not so much Cheryl's mother, but Lynn's mother said no. He pulled the Marvelettes out of school, and Pat is the only one who has just graduated. So that Kazoom went to the bottom. But my mother took it to Mr. DeYoung, and Mr. DeYoung struck all of this stuff out. And then he had Mama take it down to the Wayne County City County building to file the papers. They probably still there. I don't know if they can be found in that. But I was the only one, so our group went kaput. And of course, it wasn't accepted by Motown. Okay, now
and,
that happened for real because that's why I can tell you about Mr. DeYoung.
and Mel, let me explain something to you.
Okay.
Because I don't know how long you've been listening to Motown or anything like that, but the you know me, I'm a historian. Rashawn is a historian, Pat is a historian, Roderick, and I'm gonna say this from my point of view. In the begin, um let me use the Marvelettes. Let me use them. A lot of these groups, like the Marvelettes and all of them, they had these parents. A lot of those parents came from the South.
From humble
And I hate
beginnings.
to say that they weren't educated like that. They're not savvy when it comes to signing contracts. You never know. A lot of parents might have not been able to read and to understand the contract, and they don't know about reading the fine print or something like that. Those kids that came through the doors at the blue and white house, oh my God, they are excited. Oh, we're gonna sing, we're gonna make a record, and da 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 da. They're not thinking about looking over the fine print. And the parents, all they know, Barry probably gaslit them too. Oh, you have to sign this and sign right here, and they're not reading. And all the parents were not like Frida Payne's mother. Frida Payne's mama got a lawyer to look over her contract, and you see she didn't sing for Motown. You see
Right.
that. You see Aretha Franklin didn't sing for Motown. Had to be a reason. There was a catch. But see, Barry come from a business family. And then when he started Motown, it grew from 1959. And then here comes Barney Ailes. Barney Ailes was there in the beginning because he co-wrote I Want a Guy. He was there from the beginning. Al Abrams. I don't know if
Right.
he was shady.
Hmm.
Shelley Berger. Shelley Berger is still working with Otis Williams. Who knows? Who knows? It was some shady going on with those contracts. But you have these young kids excited to sing. And that's what Motown wanted. They wanted those kids out there making that money. Dare I say, like somebody said, they got pimped.
True.
Yep.
Now
And
that's
well,
what I was told. Motown pimped them.
and Gladys
Hmm.
didn't have a parent. She had her foster mother.
Exactly.
She didn't have a parent.
Exactly.
Now
And
I
then
do
and
remember.
and then not only these young kids, you had peoples like Beans Bowles who co-wrote Fingertips, and
Yeah.
they didn't even give that man a credit.
Right.
His
Well,
son had to fight for him. Dennis and Mel, you remember Dennis was on my
Yep.
show.
Yep.
He told it. He said I had to fight for my father to get royalties.
Mm.
well,
And it's a shame how they mistreated the youth. You
well,
know,
I
it's crazy. But like I said, Barry did a lot of gaslight
mhm.
stuff.
Well, I do know Mom recommended to Gladys' foster mother about Mr. DeYoung, and she wasn't very, the mother, foster mother wasn't very savvy, and so she shot that down because, like I said, Mr. DeYoung had been my family's attorney, my grandparents and great grandparents since sometime in the 50s, Mr. Sidney DeYoung,
Mm-hmm.
and he took
I
care
think
of.
I heard that name.
Yes, Mr. Sidney DeYoung, Jewish man, had he lived on Appleton Street in Detroit, and he had his law firm on Michigan Avenue in Dearborn.
I
And
told you Pat knew a lot of stuff. I
and,
told you.
and before Mama even bought her house, she had a home built, and she had Mr. DeYoung look at the contract. When Granny and the rest of them bought their house, they took it to Mr. DeYoung. Mr. DeYoung, they didn't make a move without Mr. DeYoung. No way, no way. And
I
so
could
I do know it was suggested Gladys foster mother, and I can't think of her name. I would have to ask Sonny, what was Gladys Foster's mother's name? He would know. And it was suggested, and she shot that to the curb. So I don't know if it was out of ignorance or what. And my mother wasn't educated, but she knew about Mr. DeYoung, and that's who she kept for all those years.
But you know what? Talking all about Gladys and everything, I'm sure that, you know, she wasn't treated fairly anyway because didn't
Mm.
Esther Edwards and her husband, weren't they kind of like guardians for
They
her
were
for a little
guardians.
while?
Yep.
Yeah, they took it
Yep.
over after the foster mother. Yeah, they went
Yeah,
to probate
they
court.
took some of that money. You know,
They
they
went to
took some of
probate
her
court,
money.
Of
Wayne County
course.
probate court.
Yep.
Of course. Because I'm gonna tell you something, Roderick, and I don't know if anybody know this, but Eddie will I gotta go back to Uncle Eddie. When Eddie and Grace were living on is it Greystone or Gladstone? One of them.
Gladstone.
Gladstone. They lived on Gladstone, and Gladys Horton had a room in their house. And they said she would never go out. She'd study her music or whatever she needed to do, and she would hardly eat. And Grace had to make her eat
Hmm.
because they said she didn't have the money for that.
Mm,
So you mean to tell me I'm out there singing my ass off, sweating and carrying on and getting funky, and I'm not gonna have enough money to buy me a bar of soap and a toothbrush
wow.
because I
Sad.
gotta I gotta give you a percentage. And then
Well,
too, who knows about what kind of management they had?
well, do you
Because
know
they
who?
because what was it? ITMI man,
Yep.
right?
About
That
to say that.
management they were taking money too.
Mhm.
Hand over fist.
Well, do you
There
know
you
who
go,
Miss Edwards' husband was?
George Edwards.
He was a politician, state senator
Yep.
for Michigan,
Case closed.
and he had lots of connections.
Where Ray Sean at? Ray Sean,
I mean,
you got the plates ready to pass? Because we taking an
Collection.
offering.
oh
Yeah, take up
yes,
the offering now.
yeah,
Each one of y'all give freely of your heart.
yes. On the heart,
Please,
not the mouth.
y'all please, because we trying to get the church to be built. We trying to build a church. So if you could just reach down into your pocket and send Roderick $10,000.
We can't send him 8.
Yeah, what about five foul?
That too. Just give. What how that song go, Pat? If how it go?
Wait a minute.
If when you give the best of your
Your
service,
Service. That's
he
right.
will understand and say, what? Well done.
Well done.
Well done, that good and
Woo!
faithful servant.
Oh, see, we done got off Motown. Welcome to Motown Memories, brought to you by. Never mind.
Never mind.
Because I was just talking about church and telling about the Moscato. Well, that's for communion on Sunday. And speaking of Sunday, let's go back to the old time way. Y'all come in and have church before you go to church, or if you're sick and shut in and you need some encouraging music, please tune into my show. Let's go back to the old time way with Patricia King, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You miss service at 9 a.m., you come on through at 11. Roderick will save you a pew. Patricia will probably usher. She'll usher you in.
No, I'm not going to usher. I'm going to usher.
She gonna
Usher.
urge her. She gonna urge her Sunday morning. She gonna wear her white because we're gonna take it back to the old landmark this coming Sunday. And next Sunday happens to be my birthday, but
Yes.
we're gonna be on a Father's Day schedule next Sunday. And speaking of my birthday, don't forget my birthday show coming up Friday the 19th, baby.
Yes.
You ain't gonna wanna
Yeah.
miss it. You ain't gonna wanna miss it. Because we're going to have a good time. We're going to continue that cookout that we had on Memorial Day.
Oh
But
yes.
you know what? We had to freeze the food. So that food is still good.
Oh
And
yes.
we might cook a couple of more dishes. Ray Sean, you didn't bring the corn on the cob last time. You better do your thing this Friday coming up on the 19th. Bring the corn on the cob.
Set them in
Pat,
the freezer.
you could bring some rib tips or something.
Oh yes, I
Roderick,
get some in the
I know
freezer.
you can bring some fried rice. Some
Yeah, fried corn.
no
Fried corn.
shellfish, Roderick. But if you want to make a seafood boil for the people, you can do that.
Okay.
And Mel, you just play the music. You're gonna be all right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're gonna be all right. Barbara Krosky, Cynthia, you could bring the paper plates. We're gonna have a time here next Friday. Y'all don't want to miss it. Y'all, please don't miss it. It's my
How about
birthday.
dessert? What type of dessert can we bring?
Oh, bring me a strawberry shortcake, baby. No, strawberry cheesecake. Bring me a strawberry cheesecake. You know what? What's even better? What I had, and it's so good. A cheesecake, and it had these fruits on the top. It had blueberry, section of blueberry, pineapple,
Mhm.
strawberry. That's what you bring.
All right.
Yes. We're gonna have a time. And um, being that um I'm using the playlist from the Memorial Day show. Don't forget, you're not going to only hear Motown, you're going to hear Wilson Pickett this time
Oh,
around.
oh,
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
sir. You're going to hear some
oh.
Wilson Pickett. You're going to hear some Honeycomb. You're going to hear Mr. Big Stuff. Who in the hell do you think you are? Yes, sir. You're going to hear all of that. So tune in Friday, 5 p.m. What you telling Roderick? Be there, be square.
That's
Be
it.
there,
Swear.
beat me there. No, don't meet me there. Beat me there.
There you go. And my cleanup crew, uh um well, Faith, she'll be under the couch. You know, my cat don't care. Marley and Ziggy, my fur babies, they'll be doing security. So you coming, better come right. That's all I got to say. But anyway, back to this. Um, Kim Weston. Uh, I wish that Motown had done a little bit more for her. I wish
Oh.
she had done a gospel album because that's her roots. And I really wish, and I tell her this all the time, I wish she had done a jazz album with Billy Eckstine, a
Mm.
duet. That would have made me so happy. But she did do a show with Billy Eckstine, but I don't think there's a recording of it. She did say on the show that she sang with the Count Basie Orchestra, I believe.
Mm.
Yeah. But
Wow.
getting back to these contracts, yeah, Esther Edwards' husband was a politician, George Edwards. So you know they was dipping. And I hate to say that, but it was so much going on behind closed doors that the public don't even know about. And guess what? It's coming out. It's coming out because a lot of these artists are talking. They're talking. So, and when Blinky came on and she said, "Oh, what was that song? I don't want to do wrong." One of those songs, she said, "Oh, there's so many versions of it." Betty LaVette did a version. Gladys Knight, of course, and some other people did versions because Motown was getting paid. I ain't even know the the procedures behind recording because the engineer has to get paid. Anytime you have to reserve studio time and you have to pay for your session. That's crazy work. That's crazy. I ain't never heard of no mess like that.
Man, but Patty, how why would you pay for a session if a producer or a songwriter call for a session and call for you to be there to record that song, right? Should it be on the producer or songwriter?
I tell you what, I'll try to get Pam Sawyer back on the show and she could tell it because she's a producer. Because it's hard to get Mickey. It's hard. It's very hard because you know that man done got married and he's living his best life. Better yet, I'll ask Kim. Kim knows. Louvain might know. But somebody's getting paid. Somebody's getting paid. Why you think, could I mention it? Could I mention that about David Ruffin?
Go ahead.
Why you think David Ruffin wanted them to open them books?
Mm-hmm.
Remember? Ray Sean saying, "Yep,
Right?
yeah." David Ruffin wanted those books open because somebody was not getting paid. Yeah,
And he had a different contract from the group because even Otis said that the attorney said looked over the contract showing that it was a good standing contract, but turned out it wasn't.
see, and that goes to Shelley Berger because I don't know. I never met the man. I've met Barney Ailes, but and it's something about him too. Because yeah, it's something about Barney Ailes. Yeah, Shelley Berger, him and Otis Williams together working, child. Mm-mm,
It's
mm-mm.
a whole lot of stuff going on.
It's
It's
a
a whole
whole
lot.
how that song go? A whole lot of shaking going
Whole
on.
lot of shaking going on. Contours. Whole lot of shaking going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Something rotten in the con.
Something in the water ain't wet. That's what I say. That's
But
what I say.
when you said something about Mama Kim doing a gospel album, a lot of people don't like it, but I've, kind of grown to like it a little bit. They did the expanded version of In Love and Memory a few years ago,
Right,
and
right,
her songs are great. And Marvin has this song, I play it every day. There is no greater love. But
right.
I mean, that Kim, she sung her face off with those songs.
I think she did How Great Thou Art or something
Yeah,
on
she
that.
did, right.
Never Grow Old, How Great Thou
That's
How
Art
it.
great thou
That's
was
art.
it.
another
Mhm.
one. She did
And
like three of them on there.
and well, see, her roots are in the church because her grandfather founded an apostolic church there in Detroit. Um, that's her roots in gospel. She came on the show and she said that she sang up in the front of the church when she was 3 years old. So it's in her blood. And sometime when I talk to her on the phone, she's quoting Bible, but she's always giving me one scripture, touch not my anointed one, do my prophet no harm. She's always saying that to me for
Mm.
some reason. She said,
Mhm.
I'm led to tell you that. And I'm like,
All right.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But I really wish she would do a gospel album. She can still sing, although her register is a little lower now. She could do it. She could do it. If Diana Ross could sing at in her 80s, Kim could do it.
Mhm.
And you know what? I'm not putting Kim's business out there, but she doesn't have a manager to manage her. And if she had a good manager that knew what he was doing or she was doing, Kim could be out there making CDs too, like Martha Reeves. But see, this is why I say look after these legends, because a lot of them, they want to do. They want to get out there, but they don't have the help. They don't have the resources to get out there, because Kim said she wants to go back to the UK. And that's another thing. Why do the UK treat our artists better than we treat them over here? Why is that?
I think
Glad
it's
you
because
asked.
I think, United States, I the music taste here is so fickle now. Like, if it's all about that, the auto tune
Right,
and image too. Like, if you're not coming out there like Meg or um what's her name, Nicki Minaj, or
Oh
you
right,
goodness.
know, yeah, if
right.
you don't have that video presence and you don't have that, they just you'll be out. I mean, I'm trying to think of like some singers that really were nice back in the 90s, like Nicole Ray, even Kelly Price to a certain extent.
Right.
If they didn't have that look, they had some good songs, they got a little radio play, but when Nicki came out, when Meg came out, just Kelly who, Nicole
But
who.
see, you know what it is? And I'm gonna say it because I'm older now and I'm not as cute as I was back in the child, please, baby. No, let me tell you something.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Baby, let me tell you something. I used to walk down the street, honey, and next thing you know, guys would be in the fetal position, sucking their thumbs. So
All
I
right.
was cute back in my day.
You had the
But
menopause, a
but
climax.
Climax.
but right now I look like a whole damn crackhead because I took my
No,
braids
you
out. But
don't.
anyway, my
No, you
husband
don't.
loves me anyway. Thank you, babe. But anyway, um, a lot of these artists, because back in the day, Kim was cute, cute.
Yes.
Brenda,
Very shapely.
Brenda is still beautiful. Brenda is still beautiful, but see, Kim has changed over the years. But see, once you know her story, see, people don't know this woman's story. Kim has been through hell and high water. When I tell you hell and high water, because she does not look the same. No, she does not. But that does not stop her. She still has her voice. She still has that shape. She can still sing. She can still play a piano. Yes, she can. But since Hollywood and the music industry, period, is so Beyonce
Mhm.
Mm,
and Rihanna, and they got to look cute. They got to have the boobs. They got to have the butt pads. They got to have this, and this. And Kim is 86 years old. So what? So what? Um, she's been in an accident, and she's lived in Israel for a year, and now she's on this nature thing where she's eating natural. I know when COVID was prevalent, she did not want to take the shot. She's like, I'm taking echinacea. Okay, Mama Kim, but hey, it must have been something to it because she didn't get COVID. Thank God she didn't. But I guess people are at the point now where I for lack of a better word, they don't have use for our older artists. Claudette Robinson, she's out there. I mean, she keeps herself out there because she keeps herself busy. She represents Motown everywhere she go. She's out there promoting her book, her website. She's doing her thing. Smokey, child, please.
Hmm.
Smokey's doing his thing. Lord have mercy. Boy, is he doing his thing. Otis Williams is out there doing his thing. God bless her. Betty LaVette is out there doing her thing. But a lot of people like Kim and um it's so many of them that they just pushed aside, and people act like they just don't care. That's why I love doing Motown Memories, because I keep their music out there. I've had people say, Sweet Pea, what song is that? I never heard that. Well, that's why Mo came up with that tagline. You never know what you'll hear.
That's right.
You never know. And my son, that's why I put that picture of that guy sleeping, because my son Rick came up with, don't sleep on Motown Memories. You
All
don't know
right.
what you're going to miss.
Never
You don't know
know.
what you're missing. Rick came up with that. I was like, hey, I'm going to use that. So, I mean, this is why I love doing what I do. I love Motown Memories. This is my baby. But I love Let's Go Back to the Old Time Way too, because I'm mellow. I don't talk on that. Only thing I do is my drops. But on Motown Memories, I have a chance to converse with everybody, fuss at Mel when I need to, you know, and say hello to everybody, and everybody get in touch with me. And it makes me feel darn good when Rashawn would say, oh, this is how I love spending my Friday nights when I don't feel well. That touched me. That touched me. And I'm segueing into my little thank you speech to you guys, because I really appreciate you. Roderick has said something. It was something that he said, and to the essence of I set his soul on fire, or he was trying to. Oh, I know what it was. He said he was trying to do the electric slide and he needed liniment or something. I fell
Yep.
out. I fell out. I said, Roderick. He's like, I'm up here trying to
50
do
hit me
electric slide.
hard.
And then Pat is so special. She's like Barbara. And I could call her if I'm feeling some kind of way. Her and Barbara, they're my sisters, because
Thank you.
yes, no, thank you, because um I'm gonna say this, and I wasn't gonna say anything, but Boogie has to see his surgeon on Monday.
Mm.
Now he's healing. He's healing very nicely. He has a nurse to come in every day and check him. He's healing very nicely, but they need to deep cleanse the wound site. And the last office visit that he went to, they said that his surgeon said that it could be cleaned more, and she
Okay.
couldn't do it in the office. So just in case he needs that appointment, he has an appointment for surgery on June 23rd.
Okay. All right.
I'll keep him in
Okay.
prayer.
But we believe God.
We will
We
be
are getting
praying.
ready to say,
We gonna
Yes.
believe God, because, and I don't want to cry, because
no, prayers go up and blessings are coming down. Believe it.
amen.
Amen.
So he goes back to the surgeon on Monday the 15th, and she's gonna let us know then if he has to go into Einstein for the surgery. But I believe God. I don't. I think my husband's gonna call me and say, "Babe, I ain't gotta go. I ain't gotta go," and I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And I just wanted to thank you, Pat. I really did. I want to thank you.
For
Um,
what?
yeah, just for being there and sending me some great chow chow.
I'm gonna send you some more because you love. I know
And the
that corn
corn
is
relish,
gone.
and the corn relish, that stuff was good, child. I put that stuff on my Mexican salad. Man, I was in seventh heaven. See, y'all know. Hey, Roderick, you in North Carolina? You ask
Oh
your mama
yeah.
about some chow chow.
Chow chow. Yep.
There you go. You ask
Hmm.
Miss Beverly. And
On
tell
some
Miss
pinto beans, cornbread,
you better shut your
collards.
mouth.
Yep.
You better shut your
Hmm.
mouth and keep on talking. That's what you better
Yo,
do. That's what you better do. But anyway, I just want to let y'all know how much I really appreciate y'all. Mel, I appreciate you too some little way. I
Well,
do.
well then,
Um,
well that's good to know.
yes. But we're gonna do this again because I promised everybody I was gonna play some music, so I gotta play some music.
All
Y'all
right.
want if y'all want to stick around, y'all stick around.
Oh,
If
I'm gonna
not,
stick around. I told you what happened the other week. I sent you a message. I said, "Look, I'm in here dancing all by myself
yeah,
and
yeah,
having a
you
good
and
time."
Roderick. Roderick talking about he need liniment and Tiger Balm and Biofreeze and a Tylenol. Poor thing. Oh, Beverly Brown, thank you, baby. She tuned in too. God bless her life. But see,
Oh,
we still having Sweet Pea Church of God in Christ in here. Praise the Lord.
okay.
Well, Mel, we're gonna have some music because it's 6:45. Um, hey, it's growing. The Temptations.
All right.
WMEL, the People Station, playing classic soul and a real R&B.
This is Stacy Womack Henderson, the daughter of great Mary Wells. You are listening to Motown Memories with Sweet Pea.
Well, Mel, why you didn't finish them other two songs? Well, anyway, you just heard a collection of original big hits, Volume One. It's growing. The Temptations. Where did I love go? The Supremes. High heel sneakers. Stevie Wonder. Come see about me. Supremes. How sweet it is. Marvin Gaye. I'll keep holding on. Marvelettes. Tracks of my tears. The miracles. First I look at the purse. Contours. Love makes me do foolish things. Vandellas. My girl. The Temptation. Did I hear that? Did I? I didn't. I heard
No,
shotgun. I heard shotgun when I'm going. Cause see, we had a flash thunderstorm going through here. So, um, shotgun, and then when I'm going, Brenda Holloway, and that's all I heard.
yep.
So let me tell y'all about I'll Keep Holding On. Um, the Marvelettes were at the Apollo in here in New York, and Mickey Stevenson brought the instrumental version to New York. And they laid down their tracks here in the studio in New York. I had the name of the studio, but I gotta find it. But anyway, he took that tape back to Hitsville, and even though Gladys and Catherine are on there, who you hear are the Andantes.
Mm-hmm.
And reason why I say that's the Andantes because I don't care what nobody say. I keep saying I have an ear. And my musical ear is very good. And I know Jackie Hicks. I could pick Jackie Hicks out of 10,000 people. I will know her alto, and that's her. And that's the Andante. Well, hey, Louvain already told it. Louvain already told it. And Barbara Krosky told me to tell everybody on the panel hello.
man.
And she said if she came up here, Mel would have to shut it down because,
We know that.
of course, because she don't know how to act. Paul Stannard, what the hell is this? Oh Lord, don't show me these fake chicks. I don't want to see them fake Marvelettes, please. Let I don't want to see them. Um, okay, let me tell you guys what's coming up. Okay, my birthday show's next week on the 19th, and on June 26th, being that we will be on hiatus in July, right, Mel?
Yes, we are on hiatus.
Okay, I'm doing the June and July babies the 26th. Now, what I planned on doing, but it didn't come together yet, I was going to have the children of the Funk Brothers on the show. Um, I didn't hear from Therese. Therese got some things going on, and Joel Messina Jr. He had some things going on. So I will postpone that until a later date when everybody's available. Penny Jamerson, all of them, I was going to have them on the panel. But Patricia Ryan, um, Roderick and Rashawn, they are my permanent guests. How would you like to be a permanent guest? Because you did so well today. I'm very impressed.
Well, thank you.
Would you like to be a permanent guest? So next time I have conversations with Sweet Pea, you can join me.
Yes.
I mean, if you're available, I don't. One thing I don't do, and Roderick and Rashawn will tell you, I don't mess with nobody try to make their money. If you gotta work, you gotta work. I don't mess with nobody that um I know you have a life, and if you want to travel or something like that, I can dig it. But when how that song go? And Shorty Long sings it, when you are
You are
available.
available.
All right.
That's it. Roderick, no. You know me and Shorty Long now. If I could find some of his family members, I'll be in seventh heaven. I just love him. Always did. I don't know. It's something about his singing that touches my soul. Cause see, he's a little churchy. He was a little churchy too. He was a little churchy too. Yeah. So Pat, you could be a permanent part of conversations with Sweet Pea. Mel, me, Rashawn, and Roderick. We make a good team.
All right. I'm in.
All right. So there you
Yeah.
have it. You have it, peoples. Because I haven't heard back from Barry, but anytime Barry wants to be a guest, he can come on. The door is open. But Patricia is going to be the other lady besides me. Because doggone it, for a while, it was just me and the fellas. But let me get back to Barry Gordy. You know what? He he's a little controlling. He was a little controlling of over these young people. Because he tell the Marvelettes, oh, don't be around the contours. They bad boys. And look what happened. Didn't Georgiana marry Billy Gordon? Did
Mhm.
she not? Did she
Yep.
not?
Yes.
Now. But yeah, and I have been, well, no, I haven't been in there. Boogie has been in there because I wanted him to experience Motown, So he has been inside the Gordy Mansion. I have not. But I want to know, is that picture of Barry as Napoleon, is that still in there? Because he thinks he thought he was a little Napoleon. He was a dictator. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I mean, God forgive me if I'm wrong, but he just had such a hold over these people's lives like that. If you don't toe the line, if you don't do this, you don't do that, you gotta go. And I could just imagine him saying something like that. I really can't. Don't be around the contours because they bad boys. But you hired them. They were
Mhm.
making hits.
Thank you, and money.
They were.
Thank you. I mean, they sang your song and made it a hit. Do
Mhm.
you love me, Shake Sherry?
Shake shade. First, I look at the purse.
Yeah.
There you go. But they bad boys though. They
Well,
bad boys.
they were bad in person. When I say bad, they was awesome bad.
Oh, okay.
Awesome bad.
One thing I could say, he could say what he wanted to say. He sure couldn't say nothing bad about those four tops. He could not.
Uh-uh.
Nope.
I have never heard any scandal about the Four Tops, except years ago they tried to say that they were smuggling, you know, powder over there
Mm.
in the UK, and they found out that was unfounded. Then I found out that they had closed out a show over in the UK, and the people loved them so much they wanted them to do one more show, and they said, no, we got to get back to the States. But then they changed their mind. They said, yeah, we're going to do this one show. That flight they were supposed to get on went down.
Oh,
That
wow.
remember that plane crash in Lockerbie,
Pan
Scotland?
Am. Mm-hmm.
That they were supposed to be on that flight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep, Pan Am. It was a bomb for it. Went down in Lockerbie, Ireland. Mm-hmm.
Wow. But
Wow.
you can't find nothing bad. You can't even make up something about the Four Tops. You cannot. Only scandal that they really had was Duke and Mary. That's about it.
Right.
That's it. And then when he put in his book that this woman wanted to
I don't
pay him
believe it.
$50,000 to leave his wife, that is not Mary.
No.
Everybody on this panel met Mary. I don't know if Roderick, have you ever met Mary Wilson?
Just talking, on here, she answered a couple of questions I had when she was on the show.
See? See? And she was a sweetheart.
Yes, she was.
She was a sweetheart.
And didn't
I
say one thing bad about Diana this whole
never,
time.
Last
never. Child, let me tell you, Barbara Krosky, Barbara Krosky, she always had a name for Diana, but I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. And she told Mary, she said, when I come to see, what she said, when I come to see the Supremes, I come to see you and Flo. I ain't come to see that Popeye so and so and so. And Mary tapped her on the hand. She said, no, you don't say that. You just pray for her. And that's how Mary was. And anytime she would come to Detroit, um, she'd go to see Barbara Martin and take her out. That's how she was. And speaking of Detroit, Pat,
Yeah.
I guess I'm a Detroiter by, I don't know, by inheritance. I I can't say inheritance because my parents never lived there. You might as well say they were in Detroit every weekend because I was born in Chicago, but they would come to Detroit every weekend, even after my mother had me. They bring me to Detroit and take me to my godparents' house, and guess where they live? On St. Antoine.
Right. That's what they call Black Bottom.
And that's where they lived at.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they lived at. And I'd
Yep.
stay there in that house on St. Antoine.
That's right. That was Black Bottom. That's where your black businesses were, restaurants, morticians, you name it. Everything was in Black Bottom.
See?
Everything.
See?
Hey,
Flame Show Bar, where my mother used to hang out. And I used to say, ooh, when I get grown, I'm going to Flame Show Bar.
Did you go?
Heck, they had closed all of that. No, couldn't go.
Wow.
But
So
all of your,
you never got a chance to go there?
no, I went every place else though. 20 Grand, Phelps Lounge, the Hobby, you name the others, I was there. But
Wow.
the Flame had closed. And
So so
a
let
lot
me
of the Motown players, I shouldn't say players, the musicians, they played at the Flame Show Bar, especially Maurice King and all of them. Oh, they came from the Flame.
that sounds interesting. But
Yep, mom knew them.
let me ask you this. Was you there on the infamous night when Sharon Holland and Diana Ross tangled?
It was in the Driftwood Lounge at the 20 Grand. She mopped the floor.
She threw.
It was there was a lot of parts of the 20 Grand, but where the grown folks went, it was the Driftwood Lounge. That's where the entertainment was. She
See?
mopped the floor with her, and then after she mopped it, she waxed it.
Beat her out of her clothes, I heard.
We
And you know
do.
who else said that? Betty Lavette said it because she was there.
That's true.
Martha Reeves was there.
It was true. Yeah,
Hmm.
that did happen. And we like, oh, what's going on? Because the 20 Grand, well, the Driftwood Lounge was probably, I don't know, I don't even know if the place was 2,000 square feet. So we were all packed in like sardines.
Wow.
And the little stage was like a postage stamp. But, hey.
Wow.
So it was, and then the bar, and then you had the men's restroom and the ladies' restroom at the back. So it wasn't one place, one way to come in and out. You came up the stairs, and let's see, you came in, then you came up that little flight of stairs, and then another one. And that night, I think Florence was there with her mink coat on. Diana Ross. I don't remember seeing Mary, but I remember they had on mink coats, and so it was a ruckus at the 20 Grand. That
She said
happened for real.
she said it was a ruckus.
It was more than a ruckus.
She said it was a ruckus.
Yep.
Hey, when we come back in August or August 11th, I'm just telling y'all right now, Mel, you got to tell me which number this is, cause who sang it better? I don't know if it's 1, 2, or 3.
Who sing it better?
Yeah, who sang it better?
Okay.
I did it before.
Well, Wait. Let me look at the photo real quick.
Might have been three. It might be three because they like that. And they like the B-sides too. And Pep Squad, I promise you, when we come back, I'ma finally play your shows on the 18th and the 25th of August. Or is it September? When we come back, August. Yeah, I got you in August. I got you in August. The 21st and the 28th to be exact. The Pep Squad shows that I was supposed to do in April that I couldn't do because Boogie had went into the hospital. But I promise you, the show that you put together for the ladies and the one you did for the guys, I will use those in August if that's all right with y'all. Well, it's gonna have to be because the name of the show is Motown Memories with Sweet Pea. Brought to you in part by Sweet Bitch Moscato. And get you a glass and fill it up with some ice and pour you some Sweet Bitch. You'll be
All
glad you
right.
did. And you'll thank me. You'll thank me. All right. Shall we have some more music or a little bit of music? Because it's just 7:30. What say you, panel?
Go ahead.
Go for
Let's
it.
party.
Let's party.
You all right, Roderick? Because
Oh yeah.
sometimes you need a little liniment, something. Mel, we starting with Nowhere to Run, or where we
Yep,
going?
yep. That what we
All
starting
right,
with.
Nowhere to Run. The Vandellas back on. All right. We're back. And you just heard Nowhere to Run, the Vandellas. I'll be doggone Marvin Gaye. Heat Wave, the Vandellas, Fingertips Part 2. When the love light starts shining through his eyes, the Supremes, I Gotta Dance to Keep from Crying, and Eddie Holland with Leaving Here. All right, hey, that's the show. That's the show. Any last words, guys? Pat?
Looking forward to the next show. Looking forward to hearing you as always.
All righty.
Be
Roderick?
hearing you Sunday because you turned me out last Sunday.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. Thank
You know
you.
what? I had to agree with him. Right, I was at work, and I had to. I would listen to the show, make sure that the show was airing, started on time, and everything is everything. And the music, right? It hit me. It's like I had to go to the bathroom and do a praise dance.
All right. Why'd you have to go to the bathroom and do it? Why didn't you just do it where you were?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, right. I don't want people thinking that I'm dancing by myself and I'm
Well,
acting
well, don't
crazy.
be ashamed.
I ain't ashamed. I definitely right, but it says hit me. That I don't know what Sweet Pea doing to me on Sundays. So you ought to be ashamed of yourself, Patty, in a good way.
Hey, I just do what thus saith the Lord.
Well, I'm telling you, I'll say this before you close. She went back and did some good old Detroit gospel when James Cleveland was with the Voices of Tabernacle, Reverend Craig and them. And then she came back and did the St. James Choir where I was from. If you ever needed the Lord, I was all over the place.
Yeah. It's kind of got me wondering, right? Did the Lord spoke to Patty in spirit and say, "I want you to pray this and pray that on this show"?
Well, I think it did. She did because I sent her a text message and no messenger, and I said, you know what, your playlist, everything on there was for me. I know you did.
It's
I,
amazing.
I don't know. It just comes to me.
Well, it was there, and so I'm looking forward to this Sunday too.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes.
Well,
you.
thank you for having me.
Oh, I thank you. You did very well for your first time up here.
Well,
Yes,
thank
she
you
did.
again.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Um, Rashawn.
Oh, I was glad to be back. I had a great time in sport ways, and this time I wasn't under the weather, which was more of a blessing.
Yeah. And we had a thunderstorm and now it looked like nothing happened.
Yeah.
The sun is shining. Sun is shining. There's plenty of light. No, I'm just kidding. I almost went to since I lost my baby.
Thank
Uh,
you.
brother, Roderick,
Well, as I always say, another one for the books. This was an awesome show. Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
I love every time
Thank you.
Fridays. I mean, y'all just don't know my week, my Monday through Friday. Well, actually, yeah, my Monday through Friday morning is pure hell with these people at work. But when 5 o'clock hit, I know it's party time.
Yes, sir.
My mood is set for the weekend, and it's like, I hadn't worked all week. So, and I definitely, every time we have conversations, I love coming on with you all. And, yeah, as long as I can talk, as long
Yeah.
as I have a voice, just let me know and I will be here.
Well, I thank you, and Mel, thank you for what you did, and
No problem.
all that good stuff. But don't forget, tune in next Friday. And I can't close the show without wishing my one of my dearest and oldest friends. If you want to know how I was as a kid, or you want to know about my dad, you ask Linda Early Gray, because she knew my dad, she knew my aunt, and we used to jump double dutch together. So happy birthday to her on June 17th. Happy birthday, Linda. Um, that's all I got. Um, we're gonna stand up and say a benediction, and we're gonna get out of here. Thank you all for joining in. Tune in next week, same bat time, same bat station. God bless you. This has been a Sweet Boogie production in conjunction with WMEL Radio, where good music live. Good night. God bless.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
All right.
night.
Nice.